Hi, all. Welcome back to Wise Kracks. Jon Orlando and I today. I am at home, my home studio. Jon is over at the Venetian slash Palazzo. I don't know what, it's funny. You never know where the breakage is over there. It's like, is
Yeah.
this the Venetian side or the Palazzo side? You don't ever know when you're there. Beautiful place, though. Absolutely love the Venetian Palazzo. Someplace I don't talk about too often, but it's really nice. The next door, the Wynn, even though they stopped me from my deals of video poker, I still love the place. Great property.
Yeah.
But Jon,
Classy.
let me first come right in here. By the way, Randy's not with us this week. He's playing a video poker promotion. Boy, he just sent me the machine he was playing. The jackpots on it and different things equal almost 101%. Pretty big play though, $25 a hand, but very big promotion. So he doesn't want to, he had some walk-in dollars and stuff, which made it close to 101%. And this progressive, a $5 machine's up to almost 40,000. And the other progressives are also up on the machine too. I wish we had a machine like that here in Vegas to follow, because I love playing those progressives when others don't know about it or whatever. All right, so listen, Jon, make you laugh. So some of the comments, people say I talk too much, that I talk about the show too much, and I'm talking about things too much, and Jon and Randy don't get to say enough. Listen, I listen, but at a point, some people just say some things that are really corny and oddball. Jon, I'll make you laugh. Some other guy said, please don't let Jon talk. And then someone said, where's Jon's baseball picks? It's Mr. Fade. I can't wait to get involved. But don't forget now, the show's called Wise Kracks. So we try to have
Right.
fun on all aspects of it. And, it's fun when we can laugh and have a good time and not just a serious
Yeah.
analytical show. Who wants that? Come on.
They used to
But
say I talk too much on the
yeah,
show.
that's right. That's right. It just
We
matters.
can't get it right.
It just matters if what kind of mood they're in, if they lost money, if their wives or girlfriends, if they even have one,
Yeah.
are mad at us. And the
Well,
people but most of the comments are really good, great people.
yeah.
I would tell you what, we got some great followers every week that comment week after week how good the show is. My buddy Rich, two Riches, one here in Vegas, one back in Connecticut. Tommy, every week.
Yeah.
There's so many people that week
Ian in
after
New
week.
York. We got Ian
Yeah,
in New York.
good people. Good. We have some good people, but
Well,
we
let
try
me
to
let me
satisfy
speak.
everyone.
Let me speak to uh the talking thing. It's so much harder. I know you'll agree with this because we're not in a studio. And when
Yeah,
you're on these Zoom things, it's harder to interject. Like, like if you're at lunch with your friends, you talk over each other a little bit,
yeah,
and which is terrible to do in a podcast. And we do it a lot here, which is
yeah.
why I'm trying to be quiet more because it's hard to jump in. Where if we were in studio, you'd see me talking and you instinctively would stop, where
Good point.
now you don't hear it, so it really makes it hard. So I know that may bug, like the show has not been, let's say, as polished as it used to be for the last 6 months or whatever, or more actually, because I've been dealing with craziness with the studio thing. But
Yeah,
that's a good segue to give you a sneak peek. Can I give you a sneak peek? So
sure.
I'm in the poker room
Oh,
at the
I didn't know that.
Palazzo.
Okay.
I'm sitting at a poker table,
Oh, yeah.
but look at it's locked right now. This is the new studio, Krack.
Oh, wow. It's got a poker table.
So so that poker table can have a cover, so we don't have to see the poker table,
Right.
or we could actually brand it Wise Kracks with the Wise Kracks logo and sponsor logo. So if you're a potential sponsor, we could actually sell the logo placement on the thing, like right there it says Poker Go, right?
Right.
And then
Right.
see those screens that say Poker Go?
Yeah,
Can you
I
see
do.
those?
Yeah, the
Those
left
can
side there. Yeah.
change. Those can change or rotate logos for us. And then this backdrop of the city can also just be our logo. It could be Wisecracks. It could be whatever we want it to be. So it's a really cool studio. If you can see, it's beautiful. It's state of the art. The
Oh,
guys
nice.
from Poker Go built it out, and they did a phenomenal job. They have a big 10,000 square foot studio over at Aria, where you see most of the
Yeah.
poker on TV content. That's at
Yep.
Poker Go Studios, and so the guys from Poker Go built this out, and so we'll be sharing it with them ongoing. Right now, we're
Is
just
that
working out some staffing things,
is
but we're
is the
we're there.
room? is the poker room open there, John?
Yes. Yeah. So this
Oh,
is the poker room's huge here. So these are just
wow.
empty tables.
Back
Sometimes there's
tables.
cash games
Yeah.
right here, but there's a tournament going on right now, like deep in there. There's
Okay.
probably 20
I just
tables
seen
taken.
I just
This,
seen a guy sitting there turn right
yeah,
away.
I
You
saw
know,
that. Yeah.
most of the guys that are on the lam are in the poker rooms in Vegas. So
Yeah.
sorry about that, Lamster. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's you got to be careful. They get all
Yeah.
nervous. They're
So
playing poker with someone else's money.
you're
Um,
you're gonna love the setup here. This is located, the new poker room is on the Palazzo side, and it's located on the mall level,
oh,
not the
okay.
casino floor.
Oh,
So,
wow.
you've self parked at the Venetian or Palazzo before, right?
I know where it's
Have you
at,
self
Palazzo. Yep.
so have you self parked at the Palazzo before,
Yeah.
off
Yes.
Spring Mountain? Okay,
Yes.
so there's two elevator banks. There's one that says hotel, and then one that says casino.
One goes right to the hotel lobby.
Right,
One goes out
right.
towards the casino. Yep.
Right. So if you pick the casino elevator to park,
Okay.
if you park on that side,
It's a little
you go to the
farther down.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go to the second level, the mall, the canal shops level,
Yep.
and
Yep.
this poker room is literally 50 steps
Oh, wow.
from that elevator. So you, Bill Krackomberger, don't have to go
Yeah.
traipsing through the whole casino. It's
Yeah.
a really easy. Our guests, it's really easy for guests to come do the show.
Nice.
It's really a great setup. You're going to be really excited to do the show from here.
Wow. Okay, good. So that's going to
Yeah.
be the next month, you think, John?
Yeah. Like I'm hoping not next week, but the week after. I'm hoping would be our first one
Nice.
over here. Yeah.
Well, John, I gave you a lead in there for the baseball. I talked about people wanting
Okay.
about baseball.
Well,
You got the Dodgers little
I do.
sweat-
Last week,
sweatsuit there.
yeah. I had to represent
And the
today
hat.
because last week I told you and Randy the best bet of baseball season is take the Dodgers -1.5 every
Okay.
game. Just
All
take
right.
it every game. It knocks it down from -200 to -135.
You're laying a run and a half. Yeah.
You're laying a run and a half, and I've got some visuals for you that our producer Rob's going to post. The Dodgers are 7-0 this season, and they have covered the spread of -1.5 6 out of the 7 games. Krack, come on,
Wow.
come on. What do you got for me? Come on.
They're a super team so far.
So with that said, you still don't like the bet?
No, just a blind bet on the run line every single game, laying a
Yeah.
run and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
No,
don't like it.
no. I mean, okay, great. They're 6-1, so they're up, 4.5 units or something. Great. I don't think it's something anyone should start now, but even with the 4.5 units involved, I'd be interested to know. Maybe we keep a running tally. I'd be
Okay.
interested to know because they are a super team. I mean,
Yeah.
their season wins, which were 104. I'd like
Right.
to know the updated season. Are they playing today, John? Because if not,
Yes,
I'll look
they
at
play
what time
tonight. They play the
They play
Braves
tonight.
tonight at home.
I'd like
Yeah.
to know if any of these sites have their updated
They're
season wins.
tonight -1.5. I saw it as low as
No.
-125, and
No,
I saw
not
it at
that.
-135. Oh,
I want to know if their season wins
the
are
season wins. Got it.
team wins. Here
And
we
then-
go. Hold on.
And then, okay,
Wow, there's a bet at DraftKings. Team to record 100 plus wins. The Dodgers, you laid 310. I mean, that looks so easy right now. And they're what's their record? 7-0.
7-0. Best start ever for a World Series champ,
Wow.
and best start ever for the Dodgers since I want to say 1958.
Yeah,
And
it looks-
I didn't say it on this show, but I said it on another show at the beginning of the season. After the Dodgers played the first two games in Japan, I said on another show, don't be surprised if the Dodgers open up 10-0 this season.
Wow.
Don't be surprised.
How
Now, with
about
that said, of course, I primed them to lose tonight with all this talk.
How about this crazy bets they have? They have one called torpedo bets. So I was like, what the hell is torpedo? And now you go to the thing, it's torpedo. It goes a little bit deeper, and each one they torpedo bats actually. What
Yeah.
will each person have? 1+ homer you can bet. You can only bet the yes. I'm looking to bet the no. That's why these bets are such bad bets. 1+
Yeah.
home run, you get 6-1 on Goldschmidt, 6-1 on Austin Well. Like, these are not good bets. I want to bet the no, though. I wish I could bet the no on them. You could bet one
Krack.
or two. Come on, give me a break.
Let me ask you this, Krack. I know you don't really love my Dodgers -1.5 blindly every day. But is there any mathematical way in terms of managing a bankroll where you could get behind trying to catch 2 and 3 game win streaks of the Dodgers winning by -1.5? Like, meaning, okay, you don't want to blindly do it, but do you like the thought of like Dodgers playing a last place team, take the Dodgers -1.5, even if it's like -150 or 160?
Gonna be more than that.
Okay, but you're even -1.5.
Yeah, because they're going to be 3.5 to 1 favorite or something. I mean, you're talking about,
Okay, is there any world where you could get behind trying to catch 2 and 3 game win streaks of them covering that spread and letting it ride each game? So, meaning you're going to bet, $100 -1.5 on the first game. If they win, let it all ride. If they win, let it all ride, and then go back down. Then then try to do it again and just go back down to a $100 bet or something like that.
This is going to probably shock a lot of people, me saying this. I think that like game flow in a basketball game or something, and the way the team flows. For me, I played football. I played baseball. They were my favorite sports was baseball, though. When you're in that groove of a bat, when you go 4 for 5, next day you come out there again, you're just hitting the sweet spot of the bat and stuff. I believe that baseball is a more streaky game for good things to happen when teams are in the flow of things. So you may not be all that wrong here.
Wow.
Yeah, you may not be all that wrong here. However, you're going to pay. It's an overused word from me. I'm the one to come up with it, by the way. It doesn't take the amazing Kreskin, like I always say, to come up with it. The tax you're going to pay. You're going to pay tax because the sports books know people are betting, the Dodgers and not, I don't know, it's too early to say who's in last place now, but let's say Oakland. They're not. They know who you're going to bet. So they're going to enhance the odds and make you lay more. But however, you're talking about a money line, almost parlay. You're parlaying the winnings from laying the 1.5. Maybe the next day do it again. It's a fun thing to do on a home series or something, maybe. But I still wouldn't recommend putting no serious money on anything Dodgers-wise right now, especially at 7-0. Now, listen, I'm not saying I can't be wrong. There's outliers in all different things in life, and this could be one of them. But
let me bounce this one off you.
Go ahead. You just want to bury everybody. Go ahead.
I do. How about Dodgers -1.5 on the road always? Because I think there is an advantage to that. Because here's why. But Bill, you're getting they're less of a favorite when they're on the road, right? So you're already getting better odds there, and you do the -1.5. But remember, this guarantees 9 at bats instead of 8, and then also on a walk-off at home, you could still get burned if it's not a walk-off home run. Meaning Dodgers are down by 1, right? And a bases loaded situation, ball gets hit in the gap and they're at home, only 2 runs are going to count. The 3rd run would have scored, but since they're at home, it's a walk-off, and the Dodgers would only been by 1 instead of by 2 in many of those scenarios.
Bartender, double, wild turkey, neat. Thanks. Okay.
He doesn't like it.
No.
All right, Bill, we're going to track this, though.
Let's track it. And, you have a lot of, you got a lot of fans on here, so I'm sure they're. What's Robert sending us here?
Just a ticket I have for tonight.
Oh, Atlanta Braves +1.5 +108. Robert doesn't believe it, but you've taken the +1.5 +108.
Terrible.
That's terrible. I wouldn't do that on GP. I'm rooting for Jon. I want Jon to win. I want it to be successful. That's fine. Hey, Robert,
easy money, man.
Robert, Robert's up in Canada, and Jon, you don't know this. You don't know the wackiness I just went through the last 36 hours. So I take off Monday. I fly nonstop from Vegas to Gulfport and Biloxi. And I go down there for an offer and just for the day, get back on a plane. But went to New Orleans and got back on a plane and flew back home in 20 hours. But the weather there was hot, humid. It's just like, it's only April. Like, how can it be so hot and sticky down there on the beautiful Gulf Coast? By the way, I like people are so friendly down there. People are just nicer. I'm sorry. People are just nice in the South. All throughout the South. I've been in Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, in the past. But anyway, this trip I was just down there. This was a I'm really probably not going to say right now, but it was a nice cash grab one of the casinos offered me. I didn't know if it was going to work. The March 31st, then again, grab it on the next day, April 1st. But so my wife thinks I'm absolutely out of my mind, though. So I went down there. Bottom line, after airfare, rental car, everything I did, I went down there for a little over $5,000. I wound up making, seven, a little less, like $6,000. And she says, "Are you crazy?" I said, I had to put her in check. I said, "Are you crazy? We lived in a 800 square foot houses or apartments growing up, and you're $6,000 a lot of money, just to get on a plane after airfare and everything." Only I hope I didn't get myself sick. My throat was feeling a little funky, but I vitamined up too. But anyway, so I did that, and then I come back here last night. It's freezing. It's like 40-some degrees at the airport. I was like, holy shit, what happened here? I went from 85 to 40-something. Then Robert tells me, "Robert, what's going on outside there by you?"
It started off just a little sunny today, and then it started snowing, and it was whiteout snow, and then it got above freezing, and then started raining, and then everything turned into ice, and now it's starting to get a little sunny outside again.
Wow. And Robert, how far are you up in Canada? How many?
I can get to Niagara Falls in like 2 hours.
All right.
Wow.
Get there.
Maybe less, hour and a half, depends.
Fallsview Casino?
Oh, God, don't start. Yeah. That place has some of my money.
But you guys have a lot of sports betting there, but a lot of the places limit or throw out people over there too.
Yeah, there's a few sports books here that are good, but like Bet Rivers, they're cowards. They threw my little tiny bets out. My tiny bets. Like they shouldn't. The system shouldn't even think about my dollar amount I bet, and they threw me out.
I don't even give an F if they don't ever sponsor, nothing to do what I do. But how can Rivers throw? I'm sorry to say, Robert. How can they throw you out or limit you? I'm not. You bet your own stuff. Now I do send you some stuff. Was it on stuff that I sent you, or it was? It wasn't.
I was betting plus EV props, and the NBA props, but I'm not betting an amount, and also because of the other stuff I bet, it washes all of that away. Like, I'm lucky.
I'm sending Robert the props in NBA, but you're probably not betting more than like $100 or $200. No way, right?
No, I think I'm down $100 at that Sportsbook.
Oh my gosh,
that's insane!
You're betting your own
this
stuff.
Is so crazy.
John, he's betting his own stuff. He's losing money in the end, and this is what I mean by these traders at certain sports books. They throw you out if you win on their shift. I mean, it's absolutely pandemonium, insane. They throw you out because you're bet. This guy's betting 5 NBA props. I don't care if he wins or not or loses. I don't care. These 5, he's betting props. I don't want him. And he'll cut you off on the shift. I recently went to one of the directors that are much higher up. He's a director of trading. He doesn't even know what's going on in his office. He's like, what are they doing? He goes, no way. I said, I'm telling you, this is what they're doing. And he's like, send me those accounts. I want to know who's complaining. And he's pissed off that these traders are limiting their guys, that you'll have someone that loses, we're talking about little now, we'll go higher. There's someone that won $39,000 on a tennis future, but loses $200,000 a year in the NFL, and they cut him off. And he's down almost $300,000 lifetime in the book, and they cut him off. And that's just so crazy. It's so crazy. He's losing $100,000 a year net. But hey, you beat us on something smaller market, or you knew something in that tennis match. Give me a break. What jack-offs, man. I can't take it. I really can't. But that brings me right into Let's talk about someone that's not a jack-off. HeritageSports.eu, 100% free play sign-up bonus. HeritageSports.eu, reduced juice, cash back, lots of other perks. They have the NCAA Final Four Squares contest. It's free. Just go over there. 50% free play bonus. Reload your account. Of course, the March Madness, March Million still going. Bitcoin insurance. Now, don't forget, they have 10-cent lines in baseball. Let me tell you right now, John, I'm so steaming over this. This town always had 2 books, at least 3 books. When I first moved here, 8 books, 10 books, all 10-cent lines, which means something minus $1.50, come back $1.40. I am fuming mad that this is the first season I can tell you none, 0 books have a true 10-cent line here. They start minus 115, come back even. It was always minus 110, come back even. So it really bothers me. Don't forget the 108 content, the 108 juice, and the true 10-cent lines, which is, at least someone has 10-cent lines that I know of. 10-cent lines, 3-way lines. It really aggravates me that these sports books, with their 10-cent lines here in Vegas, I need a 10-cent line shop. So HeritageSports.eu, like I said, been around almost 30 years. That's our first sponsor. John, here we're deep into the show here, and I didn't even get to mention everything else here. Oh, Beau Rivage in Biloxi, beautiful. It's designed after the Bellagio. If anyone's ever been there, have you been there, John?
Oh yeah.
It's like
it's literally a mini Bellagio. Yeah,
it is. It's just nice. It's a nice place.
Yeah,
it's a nice.
Have they kept it up nice too?
Yeah. They've kept it really nice. Nice rooms, Southern hospitality, no charge for parking.
It's still in the MGM family, right?
Yeah,
still
MGM offers deals. I love the property. The only thing I didn't like was the bathroom and the nice rooms, nicely appointed rooms, but they got like that. The walls, the soaps attached to, like, it's almost like you're using prison soap. You're pressing the things there, and you're like, it's so thick. It's like bathing with oil or motor oil. Or so I don't.
Now, are you in a suite when you go somewhere like that?
No.
Are you in a suite? You're in a regular room. You're not an upgrade to a suite guy.
No. But with this offer I got, it came with it. I just ratted out my offer, but yeah, it came with the offer to upgrade Monday to Thursday for the suite. I didn't even want it. I know it sounds weird. I'm alone. I'm down there for business. I'm only going to be down there for a day. Just give me a regular non-smoking room. It's fine with me. I didn't even ask for the upgrade. They gave me $300 in food and beverage. I got the double dip on the deal on this deal for 31st and 1st. Like I said, it was worth about $6,000 to me. But anyway, yeah, I didn't like the only thing I didn't like was the soap on the wall where you press the soap and come out. Like I said, but everything else, that's a little minor thing. Maybe the tissues were like, they leave scars on you like sandpaper, but they got to get some, use some nice tissues with a little softness to them. But anyway, little stupid picky things. I'm just kidding, really. But I absolutely love the casinos down there. I've seen lots of poker players that were the sour rooters down there.
Video poker.
No. Poker players, they're. I seen these young white kids with their backpacks running around the casino checking the bonus machines. I said, "Wow, look at this! Is unusual to see the poker players are out there all checking the machines. You know how that works. They talk about it at a poker table, how much smarter they are than the rest of the people, and these games they play, and these edges that there are where people leave them on the weekends and stuff. And they have a lot of games there actually. That had some of the edges, so I understand. I really didn't find any. Maybe one. I played one Wheel of Fortune. Actually, lost maybe $200 on it, chasing a little bit of a bonus. But that's all part of that winning $6,000, though. John, I want to talk about something. I posted a video of me playing on one of the casinos here in town where I won a bonus of 16. I won a ridiculous jackpot. I talked about it last week with Randy and you about winning that $16,000 in one of the little bucket of blood casinos here. It's funny. So they have no valet. I'm a valet guy mostly. That's why when you said Venetian, I'm trying to think about I park valet. Give the guy some money, can leave the car up front. So this casino doesn't have valet. So they have self-park only. So I grab a security guard. I said, buddy, I just hit a jackpot, which 5 people came up to me. 4 of them looked like they could put a knife in me and just take the money. And, like said something to me. So I said, listen, my car's outside in the parking lot there. Can you just walk me out to my car? Do me a favor. Now, do I want to rat myself out? John and I recently were at some casinos, and and anyway, we're pretty much set in case anyone robs us normally, but it just, I won't get into that. So anyway, no, but however, this particular one, I said, and the security guy's like, man, no problem. I gave him $5, not a lot, but just give him a little $5. He's like, I can walk you right to the door area. It's like, what? I'm in the parking lot right there. He goes, yeah, we're not allowed to go out there. If he's not allowed to go out there,
it's too dangerous.
What chance do I have? Like,
way too dangerous for him to be out there.
Like, I'll open the doors and watch you.
Oh, I'll watch you get stabbed.
And if anything happens, I'll call on the radio and we'll get some. He said, nothing's going to happen, though. You're good, big guy. Go ahead.
All right.
He's not allowed. It's their property.
Right. It's too risky. No
so,
good.
John, I don't know. I used to fly all over the place no more. I don't fly a lot no more. Like I said, I just flew to Biloxi, and I actually rented a car one way and flew back out of New Orleans, which it was cool, though. I got to go to a famous bakery over there, Gambino's Bakery, been around 75 years. I went over there, and I went to cemetery. I'm crazy with cemeteries. I went to go see some famous people that were buried there. Lots of really famous people. But my reason for going there was to go see a singer that most people won't know, but I know him because I'm an old soul. Louis Prima. Louis Prima was buried.
Yeah.
Just a gigolo. As a matter of fact, on his grave it says just a gigolo, and everywhere I know. And then it says I'm actually forgetting what it says. In the end, it's just one of I think it was just a gigolo. I think that was the song. Yeah. When the end comes, I know I'm just a gigolo, but life goes on without me. Yeah, and there's Louis Prima's grave there. And
wow, where is that? New Orleans?
That's New Orleans, yeah. And it's funny. It was so
you knew that he was there.
Oh yeah. So you have to walk over. There's a little steps. They put some things down because it's all water. That's why all the graves are above ground there, because of the water levels in New Orleans. But it's a real old cemetery. Matter of fact, John, you can look at some of the crypts behind Louis' grave. These are all from early 1900s. So yeah, I really wanted to go. I seen one of the specials on him recently called The Wildest, and it was so good at the end. Sam Butera, his horn player, narrated him how good of a person Louis was, and how he entertained so many people, and how everyone came to his show after he was at the lounge at either a couple different places, but the Sahara Lounge, the Congo, I think it was called, like Sinatra, Dean Martin, they all went there. And now, Louis died in 70, but he was sick for those last few years too. So he died in like 76 or 79 or something. Let's see, 78. So he died in 78, but 5 years he was in a coma. So I'd love to know if your dad knew him. I bet you he did.
Yeah, for sure he did. Yeah.
I bet you he did. You did, right? Yeah. So everyone went to see his show because he had like a midnight show. And then he had a 2 a.m. show at the lounge. When everyone was done with their shows on the Strip, they went to see Louis. And, if you see the movie Casino, the opening song, when they're open up and they're panning in on the Strip, that's Louis Prima, singing a song right when they open up. So there's so many good songs that Louis Prima had. And not just, it's just a gigolo, but the old Black Magic. I can go on and on and on.
His iconic voice.
Marie, and God, Angelina.
When he sings, it's him. There's no mistaking his voice. He was so
full of energy. I watched those videos. He was so full of energy, so full of partying. Just his whole band got involved. I love Louis Prima. I listen to Louis Prima a lot. Off season, I love music. I just can't listen to it during basketball and football. It's so hard. I watch so many other podcasts and try to get information. I bet sports for a living still. I'm involved with 4 or 5 different businesses, different shows, and so like I said, I'm in sports for a living, but music is a big part of my life. When like now it really is. Every day when I'm in the shower, I listen to the same 50 songs over and over again that I put on a set list. Sinatra, Dean Martin, Bobby Darin. I have a Tony Orlando song on there. You don't even know. Imagine I wonder what your dad would think of me. I'm in the shower listening to one of the songs. It might not go over well, but but I am. I'm an old soul. I understand. But then again, I'll get into AC/DC is going to be here in a few weeks. I'm going. Motley Crue just canceled. My wife's devastated. She loves Motley Crue. And I did when I was a kid, but I'll listen to rock and roll too. The only thing I don't get into nothing like rap music or any of that stuff. I don't get into that. I like some country, but I'm not really a country fan either. My parents were though. So anyway, I went down there, but I want to talk about the planes. John, I used to fly a lot, especially when Fox was sending us to all different shows, different locations. I flew like 8, 9 weekends of the year of football season. I flew around, but I used to fly back and forth to my buddy that died. I told you, Craig's. I used to stay there with him in Atlantic City. And John, it seems like whenever the plane lands, you're waiting for people, waiting for them to say, your bags are going to be at this level, whatever. And John, there's always people that are behind that feel that they can run ahead of me, like rows behind me. They feel that they're entitled to running off the plane or getting in front of the rows. So it came this close this time to K-Man having a fight with somebody. Not for me. He didn't cut me off. I don't give a fuck. Guy had cut me off. There was a lady that was, I'm in row 2. There's a lady in row 1 that's with a walker and a wheelchair. Like she's waiting to get off and help. And this kid with a backpack ran off and he's trying to get in front of him. And the stewardess, it was a guy, he said a little something to him and the kid got snippy. Yeah, I had to step in. Not that I'm a tough guy. I had to tell him, I don't want to say what I said to him because I came off wrong. I usually am not like that, but I was getting ready to just take the kid and just throw him in the back of the plane. Like, dude, you could do it to me. I'm older now. I'm kind of settled. You could do it to me. You want to cut in front of me? Go ahead. That's not going to be worth an argument. When you're doing something to a senior citizen or someone, I'm not going to be able to help myself. And I hope that nothing ever happens because I'm constantly sticking up for older people or Joe Public even. I'm going to do it if I feel someone's exploiting. This is all for an idiot that thinks that he's entitled to get off the plane to go smoke a cigarette. Because that's what, matter of fact, that's what it was in the end. It wasn't like he was going to another connection or anything. It's our final destination. The plane's dying,
right.
It's midnight. And it's just things bother me. And I've let a lot of things go now. Someone's on the road, they're crazy, cutting you off. Just let them go. Too old for any road rage is really out of control in the United States, especially places like Vegas, Miami, maybe even New York, LA. Road rage is out of control, but it's anywhere. I'm just giving you some hot spots, really, that I see on Twitter and stuff when someone sends me something. But just let them go. Just go ahead. When I was a kid, I never did that. I'll tell you one thing, John. Maybe I grew up from old-fashioned parents. I was never cutting people off and playing.
No way.
No way. I don't know. Just the way you're raised.
We didn't do it. We didn't do it back then.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Robert. Let's put up. This is an interesting bet. Robert's going to put it up. Now, this is one we talked about in the past. WagerWire, our sponsor, WagerWire, sent us this same exact one. It's juicier now, though.
I got to put the glasses on for this one. I've got it right here on my phone pulled up. This is
Robert, put that up for us.
Yep.
This really makes this is a tough decision, Krack. This one's tough.
Yeah.
And I'm a gambler, and this is tough. This ticket you're talking about the 50 to win 77,500?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
The 4-leg parlay with Duke to win.
There it is.
The original odds were 1550 to 1. The current odds are even money, right? Or plus 100?
Yeah, plus
Let me
100.
see it again.
Plus 100.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Boy, I tell you,
The cash out offer is 28,900.
No,
Basically,
wasn't it more?
Yeah.
Let me see it again.
No, the current bet value is 38,000.
What's the cash out?
28,904. Pretty much 29 grand off of $50.
Because it's $50. And the last time we had it on the show, it was 11-1, I believe Duke was. Now it's even money. He said the first 3 legs are in. You know, I'm not a hedge guy. However, because it's $50, you know, you're looking to make a score here, and you're looking to still keep some action on the ticket. Isn't that right, Robert? Isn't this for selling? Was it 50% or 60% of the ticket? Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. That there was a portion of the ticket that was available.
You're still going to have some action. Boy, this is going to be so hard. I never tell you to take this. I would take this money. Yeah, I would.
You would. I think I would too. You know,
I like Florida. I like Florida, and well, now Duke's really showing that they're probably the dominant team here compared to, especially Florida almost lost the other day. So
yeah, Bill, I gotta say, I hate basketball. We've both been on the same page with basketball being kind of boring, whatever. I may have to take that back. I've watched these games this year or for this tournament. It's pretty exciting to watch. I have to admit,
Yeah.
I have shit on basketball for many, many years. I've actually enjoyed watching these games.
Yeah.
This is the first time 4 number 1 seeds face off against each other.
You know, this is and John, you are right. It's very exciting to have this weekend, or this March Madness here, Final Four. But the reason why I'm saying the cash out here before I forget, you understand, you're only betting $50. So someone's maybe $100 better, and they fool around with a peanut bet for them. It's a good size bet though. But the $50 doesn't mean much to people, but this 30,000 does. So that's what I have to go by. I would work out the math a little more, see what the real number. I'm saying it's worth 38,000 and change, or 39,000. But they are the favorite to win it all, but they're a 110 favorite versus the entire field to win it all, to win these next 2 games. But lock up a little profit. I probably have no problem with this, because if you don't lock up a profit, oh my God, how sick you're going to be.
You have to take the payout.
Yeah,
you have to take the payout. I mean, it's so much. I mean, if $50 to run it up to almost $30,000 in a couple of weeks, come on.
WagerWire.
Anything can happen. It's still live sports. Anything can happen. A buzzer beater takes you out. Your team goes cold in the second half. Your team isn't hitting free throws, or someone gets in foul trouble early. You lose a key guy. There's too many factors. You got to take the money. I can't even believe I'm saying that, because I'm a degenerate gambler, but you have to take the payout.
You know, I'm looking at all the different things on the WagerWire site right now, and bets available for sale. But WagerWire makes this fun. Like they show you the Sportsbook, FanDuel, ESPN Bet, FanDuel, BetMGM, DraftKings. They show the ones that download the app for free. App Store, WagerWire.com is the site, and their app. Fantastic. John, I got to go into one last thing for everybody. So last week after the show, John and I went over to the Italian American Club, and we had
good times.
Yeah, we had a nice little meal there. We just walked in, you and I. It was so busy. It was just so busy. And it was, even though it was like 5:00, even the lady came out in the back, right? The lady came out in the back saying, I don't know if we can get anyone. I said, well, go Krackomberger, Jon Orlando. I'm just fooling around. But they found the room for us. But they found room for us. Why? Real simple. The guy at the door, holding the door, watching the cars in the parking lot, he gets a $1. The guy that's sitting us, he gets a $1. The music guy gets $20. The guy playing the music, who, these are all recognitions. The guys that all come over to you, hey, how you doing? Nice to be here, and this and that. So it's amazing. Even though the meal was it was so reasonable. It was like we both ate for like $65 or something. I was like, John, it would cost more in tips than literally after, because the waiter knows me for 100 years. You got to give the waiter 40. You can't give him, $12. So, it cost me more in tips than the meal was, but it brought a great subject up. You can't play the role and not tip and not take care of people. So he reminded me of Tony O going on the road, because I have to admit it, I'm so upset that Tony is not playing shows anymore. But it's so expensive to pay shows because Tony is a loyal man, pays the same band. He doesn't play with a house band in Vegas or New York or Philadelphia or Chicago, wherever he's going, Chicago. He doesn't play. He plays with his band. He flies them all in and pays them all, keeps them on the payroll, which, to be honest with you, I know some of the money that Tony was getting. Oh, my God. It's like some of them are barely above breaking even. He's not really making any money. So, and you were telling me about Tony, too, when he goes to check in to a hotel or something. The limo, got to tip the limo guy. Got to tip the guy that takes the bag. Oh, by the way, the guy takes the bag. He just takes the bag 20 feet to the bell guy who has to take the bag, too. So there's 5 guys to pay already. And you can't be cheap, because what happens?
No.
Next thing you know, the National Enquirer, or what's those jackoffs in LA? Your buddies that put everything. Yeah, they put all the people on. This guy was cheap. He only gave $5. So you don't want to know that, known, being that you're cheap or whatever. So, but that's what the world wants to know. They want to know the stuff that's going on. But that's the life of people like Tony O. Not even like he's way above me, But you have to keep up appearances here in town. You got to take care of people. Someone said something to me on Twitter the other day. Oh, I wasn't even going to talk about this. I just remembered. Someone said something to me about the hotel. I put a hotel tip of giving $20 to get a better room, or maybe even 50 if it's a suite. And then the next person said, it's really nice to know that you could get someone fired with these bribes. Give me a break, pal. This is Las Vegas. This town's made on taking. You don't think their bosses know they're taking tokes? There's a camera right there. Of course. Everyone takes tips. Where are you from? The Ozarks? I mean, by the way, the Ozarks, if you watch that little show there, maybe you're not even from there. You're from deeper than the Ozarks. But, I mean, give me a break. But, listen, that's all I got for you guys. I think we had a good show, just John and I. Randy will be back next week if you're still not chasing that jackpot. We'll talk to you next week. See you on Wise Kracks.